Opinel is ubiquitous with quality in sharps. We're going to be looking at the Tradition range today, also known as the Numbers range. Why Tradition? Well, the blade shape actually goes back all the way to 1890 when one of the original Opinel family members, Joseph Opinel, came up with now that classic shaped blade. In the range for well over 100 years now, which says a lot. In 1955, Marcel Opinel came up with the Virobloc. This is the system of a slide which holds the knife blade either open or closed. It's a really practical, easy to use way to maintain the blade in an open or closed position in a safe and secure manner. The knife itself is French made and the majority of the components come from France. The wood itself is beech and are taken from managed beech woods in France. These are managed to maintain the woods in a good shape. In these difficult environmental times, anything new has an environmental footprint, but if that footprint can be reduced, then that's only for the good of everybody. Opinel chose beech because it has a small tight grain and that makes a very strong wood to make smaller items.
The blades are available in two types of steel, the inox or stainless steel and the XC90 carbon steel.
The XC90 is an excellent carbon steel to make any kind of cutting implement with. It's got a good strength. However, what it won't do is chip on like stainless steels. It will bend, however. It's also easy to sharpen. The carbon steel is relatively easy to look after. Being a carbon steel, it will rust if it's left in contact with water for a period of time. Now, this is easily avoidable. At the end of your use, you've been mushroom picking or you've been foraging, take the knife, give it a good clean in hot soapy water, get any plant residue off there, thoroughly dry it, and then I put camellia oil on mine just to keep the blade sealed against any further moisture. The wood itself, being beech, is not prone to warping. Occasionally you can get, in damper conditions, a slight amount of swell, and that can result in the blade being harder to open. My top tip there is basically find something solid like a tree stump, give it a couple of taps on that tree stump and it loosens up that blade nicely. Although if it's a blade that's in use quite often, it doesn't tend to have that problem occur. Because it's not a huge knife, it really does have a large amount of uses, from gardening to bushcraft to campcraft. It's a really good outdoor companion. I've used the Virobloc on a number of other items as well. The saw, for example, we'll cover that in another video, and it really is a simple, elegant solution to locking off blades of any size. In the UK, this is still classed as a lock knife, therefore it is not a legal carry. What do we mean by that? It means that in the UK, when you're carrying an Opinel on public areas, you need to have a reason to carry them. So for example, you're going off into the woods to do some camping, or you're going into the mountains to do some camping, or you're going to do foraging or something along those lines. As long as you've got a reason to carry it, it shouldn't be an issue. The advice I would give anyone carrying sharp objects in the UK is just keep it concealed until you actually use it, and therefore you should never really fall foul of the law, because you aren't going to be in a position where people feel intimidated by the knife. The number 5 is the smallest in the Numbers range, and this doesn't actually have the Virobloc. So if you are looking for a small pocket knife just to pop in your pocket and not have to worry about, this is the one out of the range that does this. It is a thinner blade, however, though, so this isn't suitable for battening and that kind of thing. The Tradition range from Opinel really does have a lot to offer. There's a wide variety of blade sizes there that can suit a number of the niches we have for our knives, and they have been, in my experience, a joy to use. I love the forest environment. Absolutely stunning. Being out here today, it's just a beautiful location to be in, and things like the Opinel can give us the tools to go out into these environments and enjoy them and access them and use the natural resources in a responsible manner and have that connection back into the forest, because that at the end of the day is what we're after, is enjoying our outdoors time. And what I want you guys to do is go out there and enjoy your outdoors time.
It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Worth mentioning as well, another review is about the knife. Always stay behind the sharp edge. Pretty much then you're guaranteed not to be able to hurt yourself. Always think, if I'm going to do something wrong, is it going to end up on me? If it is, don't do it. Find another technique.